Animated Batman sucks. The last time I was legitimately hyped for a Batman cartoon was in 1992, when Batman the Animated Series debuted on Fox. Since then, almost every iteration of the character in animated form has been extremely disappointing. Now, I really did enjoy Batman Beyond, and The Brave and the Bold hit right for me sometimes, but then you have shows like Beware the Batman and The Batman, two shows that have wonky art styles that just didn't feel great, but at least I can give Beware the Batman credit for using newer villains from Batman's Rogue Gallery. There was just something about Batman the Animated Series that was perfect. The show itself is timeless, with a super gothic art style that recalled the 1930s but also felt modern. The fact that the show itself didn't stray away from telling darker stories using violence, the show didn't talk down to kids, which is why 32 years later it still holds up. You can watch any episode and it feels like Batman. So here we are, 32 years later, on the precipice of a new show, Batman: Caped Crusader. A trailer dropped last week, and it's not hard to see the visual similarities to Batman the Animated Series. The 1930s Gothic Deco art making somewhat of a return, the character models share a passing resemblance to the one used in the animated series. But we really shouldn't be surprised by any of this. Bruce Timm is back on animated Batman. Timm is a major player from that OG cartoon, working as an artist and concept designer on that show, and he freaking co-created Harley Quinn, and we all know how much people love that character right now. For years, Timm's artwork defined Batman. But without Paul Dini's involvement, I'm somewhat skeptical about how good this new show will be from a storytelling aspect. Not to discredit Bruce Timm, but I see him as an artist first. Then we have the involvement of self-appointed king of the nerds, J.J. Abrams, and his longtime cohort, Matt Reeves. For the most part, I enjoy their work in film. Abrams revitalized the Star Trek franchise before he went on to mangle Star Wars, and Matt Reeves directed Cloverfield, one of my all-time favorite kaiju movies, and reinvented Planet of the Apes. But his Robert Pattinson-led The Batman was a dumpster fire of a film. These two men will be acting as producers of this new show, and this worries me to a large degree because neither man has done superheroes right in my opinion. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and read J.J. Abrams' shitty Spider-Man comic book with his son. Honestly, I look at this show and I feel like what they wanted to do was what Marvel did with X-Men 97. They wanted to bring back Batman the Animated Series, but couldn't. Now technically it was announced before X-Men 97, but I feel the intention was the same. Let's do a show with a similar art style, bring back some of the OG creators, and then people will care again. Not that DC animation is in a terrible place right now, especially since it's made moves to cater to adult theme animation with shows like Harley Quinn and the upcoming Kite Man Hell Yeah, but Caped Crusader looks just similar enough to Batman the Animated Series to be nostalgia bait. I'm also somewhat concerned with the fact that this show won't be appearing on Warner Bros.' dedicated streaming platform Max. A quick history lesson to anyone who doesn't know, Warner Bros. Owns DC Comics and has since 1967. Because of this, Warner Bros. Has been the exclusive developer of all things DC when it comes to television and film. For the most part, any DC animated show usually gets put on a Warner Bros. Owned TV network. Batman the Animated Series was a major exception because in 1995 when it was airing, Warner Bros. Didn't own any television networks, but as soon as they did in 1995, Batman was moved from Fox to the newly debuting WB network. Since then, DC shows, be they animated or live action, have either been on that network or Cartoon Network. Warner Discovery owns Max, formerly HBO Max, and Batman: Caped Crusader was developed with the intent that Max would be its exclusive streaming platform, but Max didn't pick the show up. Now that doesn't really mean much since Warner Bros. And Max have been making some insane decisions, like killing fully developed films like Batgirl, the sequel to Scoob, and the most infamous at this time of recording, Coyote vs. Acme. If you haven't heard of Coyote vs. Acme, look it up, that story is fucking insane. Right now, Max is the exclusive streaming platform for Young Justice, Harley Quinn, My Adventures with Superman, Peacemaker, and Kite Man Hell Yeah. Caped Crusader would have fit perfectly in that lineup, so why pass it on to a competitor? Amazon Prime Video will be the exclusive distributor of the new series, and I just can't figure out why. Now, Amazon has been doing the most when it comes to bringing superheroes to their platforms. The Boys and Invincible have been major success stories for the streaming service, and they are going to expand. They are already developing a spin-off of the Spider-Verse films featuring Nicolas Cage, which will make him the oldest actor to play Spider-Man in live action. But right now, they have Caped Crusader in their back pocket. Batman, DC's most profitable superhero on a platform that Warner Bros. Doesn't control? It's fucking stupid. Warner Bros., you also own Adult Swim. If this wasn't right for Max, why wasn't Adult Swim considered? What happens in the event that this show is amazing? I'm pretty sure there are no take-backsies. But then again, I've laid out a few reasons as to why I think Caped Crusader could be bad, and maybe for those reasons, Max doesn't have faith in the show either. On the other hand, I am seeing some reasons why the show could be a smash. We already discussed the art style, which is a major selling point, but the Rogues Gallery looks incredible. We have new iterations of Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Clayface, Two-Face, Firefly, Scarecrow, and the freaking Penguin. Not to mention the traditional mob, which means this Batman will be very busy over the course of the 10-episode season. Then we have the voice cast, which includes actors like Dietrich Bader, who voiced Batman in Batman the Brave and the Bold, and it's been confirmed that he'll be voicing Two-Face. Christina Ricci will voice Catwoman, and Jamie Chung is Harley Quinn. I'm going to ignore the fact that she was in the terrible Dragon Ball Evolution, and remember that she was great in Big Hero 6. We also have McKenna Grace, who's been killing it with Ghostbusters, John DiMaggio, and freaking Haley Joel Osment, all playing undisclosed roles. This cast is no slouch, so I'm looking forward to some spirited performances. Hamish Linklater is the only what the fuck moment I had on casting, but after a quick wiki search, I'm familiar with the actor. He's never been the it guy, but this could be his I'm him moment. And based off of what I've heard in the trailer, he wasn't doing too bad. He's no Kevin Conroy, but who is? R.I.P. to the GOAT. I want to make myself really clear. I want this show to be great. For so long, DC Animation has been scared to take Batman into territory tread by Batman the Animated Series. And I can understand why. The animated series is iconic, and for a lot of people, that show is Batman. But because they wanted to avoid direct comparison, they made Batman shows that focused on other aspects of the character. Beyond explores what happened when Bruce Wayne is physically incapable of being Batman. The Batman gives us a year 2 Batman, one who's got some experience but still green, one who hasn't really fought off against the most villainous in his Rogues Gallery. Batman the Brave and the Bold embraces the campiness of Batman that was so well established in the 60s and 70s, and Beware the Batman explores some of the untapped potential of Batman's lesser known villains. None of them truly gave us an iconic take on Batman, and that's DC Animation's biggest problem. They're scared to be iconic. They fear the legacy of Batman the Animated Series, and as long as they do, we have to be ready for Batman Caped Crusader to suck. Alright everyone, so that's today's video. I know it's a bit of a hot take, but I've been burned by Batman cartoons in the past that just don't deliver what Batman means to me. I'm really hoping Batman Caped Crusader can put the dark back into the Dark Knight and gets us back to a place where I can be excited about Batman cartoons again. But that's it for me. That's today's video. Before I let you go, I gotta ask you guys the following. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you can get notified whenever a new video drops. Please hit that thumbs up if you like the video, and shit, if you don't like it, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. As always, please leave a comment so that we can have a discussion on today's topic. See you on the next one. Same bat time, same bat channel.